Time to wake up. It's Saturday morning. Find some milk and cereal. Grab a bowl and spoon. No, a bigger spoon. Head to the living room and take a seat on the floor while Joseph and Chris present to you Saturday Morning Cartoon!
Hello everybody, welcome to Cartoon Boom! This is a show where we wake up with the Saturday morning sun, popped on the floor with a big bowl of sugar cereal, while trying your favorite cartoons, both old and new. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
And this morning, we watched Teen Titans Go!
This was submitted to us by Cole via email and JassFrass via Apple Podcast Review. So thank you, Cole and JassFrass.
Thank you both.
That's cute. JassFrass.
JassFrass. The show Teen Titans Go aired from 2013 to present, so I guess it's still on.
It's still on, yeah.
Yeah, based on Teen Titans by Glenn Murakami and Sam Register, developed by Michael Jelenic and Aaron Horvath, produced by DC Entertainment and Warner Brothers Animation. This has run so far for 7 seasons, 317 episodes, and these are AB episodes, so they're short episodes, 10 minutes apiece, and it's originally ran, and I think it's still running on Cartoon Network. I watched it on Hulu, so it's also on there if anybody wants to check it out.
Yeah, in fact, I think literally they just had an episode come out like this past week.
Nice.
So yeah, it's definitely still going right now.
And for a short synopsis, superhero roommates Robin, Cyborg, Starfire, Raven, and Beast Boy love saving the day, but what happens when they're done fighting crime? Antics.
That is a very good point that I didn't think about until we started watching it. Whereas like Teen Titans was very much about, I don't know, superheroing stuff. This is very much like not about being superheroes and about just being goofy and like being roommates.
Yeah, this is the everyday stuff, but dialed up to 11.
Yeah, exactly. This is like, the in-between with a lot of ADHD.
Yeah. This is perfect for kids like us.
Yes.
So who are some of the actors who played in this show?
Yeah, I'll tell you that.
Please do.
The voice of it's the exact same cast as Teen Titans. So there you go. That's all you need to know. Robin, voiced by Scott Menville. Beast Boy, voiced by Greg Sipes. Cyborg by Carrie Payton. Starfire by Hendon Walsh. And Raven, voiced by Tara Strong. So again, the entire cast of Teen Titans, all 5 of them, back for Teen Titans Go. Just different takes on the same characters. But this is something that I wanted to mention really quick. These are some non-DC character and guest appearesses that I just wanted to mention really quick. And maybe you've got some of these in your little trivia, your marshmallows. But I saw this like just because of looking up voice actor information, and I was just like, holy crap! Some of the characters and actual people that show up in this show are ridiculous. So you got the Scooby-Doo gang, like Fred, Velma, Daphne, all of them.
Oh, cool.
The Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
Mojo Jojo.
Nice.
Freakazoid and the Lobe. Beetlejuice.
What?
Lion-O. CeeLo Green and Fallout Boy.
Yeah.
And LeBron James.
LeBron James. What? Man, that's great. That's awesome, though.
I got one more to tell you about, real quick. Can I tell you who voices Darkseid in this show?
Yes, please. I don't know.
Weird Al Yankovic.
What? As Darkseid?
Yep.
That's awesome. That reminds me of OK Kale, Let's Be Heroes, in that it's mixing so many worlds together because there's no boundaries to this world. It's just that wild and crazy that you can throw anything in there, and it has to make sense because none of the world makes sense.
I think they have 2 versions of Lion-O in this too, because I think that they did like the Thundercats Roar thing, which is a very similar idea to Teen Titans Go. It's like that sort of take on the Thundercats. I didn't look this up, but I saw 2 different versions of Lion-O listed, and one of them was original Lion-O and then Lion-O. So my thought is they've got like the they've got the Thundercats Roar version of him, and then they've got like an original like G1 version of Lion-O also in the same episode or something.
I bet you're right.
I don't know if it's the truth, but either way, that's kind of funny.
Hey, your guess checks out. I'm backing it up.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
That's what I'm here for. So here's a few tasty marshmallows of our big bowl of Teen Titans Go cereal. In the show, the character Raven is obsessed with the series called Pretty Pretty Pegasus. This is because Tara Strong, the voice of Raven, plays Twilight Sparkle in the TV series My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's an obvious tie-in for us because we've done that show as well. And we know Tara Strong so well now after everything she's been in.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a really cool tie-in. It's subtle, but it's also very obvious for those who are in the know, I guess.
Yeah, I love that. It's such a good nod.
Young Justice toys didn't sell well, and the network wanted a new show with young DC heroes aimed for a much younger audience. The Teen Titans property was chosen because the new Teen Titans shorts on DC Nation were popular, and the original show had a highly successful toy line. So this show was basically made so they could sell more toys, but I think it surpassed that and became more than it was ever intended to be.
Yeah. And I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that hear that and they're like, yeah, that figures. I'm like, here's the thing. Every show that you guys hold up in such high esteem and regard from the 80s, 90s, whatever, was all the exact same thing. They were all created just to sell toys. So this is literally no different.
That's the primary reason that Ninja Turtles was created. The comics originally, but they did the show so that they could sell some toys.
Yeah. I mean, same with like Transformers and He-Man
Transformers
and
especially.
All that stuff.
Yeah. It's everything from the 80s was made to sell toys. And this isn't so outwardly made to sell toys where they're like bringing out new vehicles every episode or something like that. It's
Definitely.
just, it lives on its own. It's independent from that, I think.
G.I. Joe, there's another one.
Oh, of course. Unlike the previous shows and the DC Nation shorts, this show uses flash animation, which is significantly cheaper to produce. But it looks so good. I love how clean it looks.
It is super clean. You know, that makes me wonder because, I mean, like, Flash is, like, you know, on its way out as far as, like, you know, the internet and stuff is concerned. So that just makes me wonder if they're still using Flash programs for animation purposes, but they're exporting as some other kinds of like files or something like that.
Could be. I know like it's not supported online necessarily anymore, or websites are trying to like
but as
dial
animation
it back.
Studios, I'm wondering for like television purposes.
If they still use it independently in their studio, I don't know. I mean, that's a good
And then
question.
they
Or they
can-
may be using something as an alternative because it started 8 years ago now. So who knows?
Yeah, and they can still export as like H.264s or whatever.
So, and this is where some of what you were talking about earlier comes into play. The song "The Night Begins to Shine" has 3 official remixes made, and the remixes are sung by Fall Out Boy, CeeLo Green, and Puffy Amiyumi. Which I haven't heard the remixes, but I really want to now.
I want to hear all of those remixes now,
Yes.
dude. All 3 of those sound great. Okay,
And of course, Puffy Amiyumi it's still the same intro, but remixed. It's the original intro, but remixed and shortened by a lot.
And it's fun.
Yeah, it's very fun. I like it a lot.
I like that a lot too. You know me, I love remixes of stuff, so that has me so excited.
I'm getting ahead of myself, but I really like this show a lot more than I thought I would. Not that I didn't think I'd like it, but I was going in with my reservations because of how much like flack it got from people originally. But I'm like, now I'm like, why?
And it's still gets like bombed on like rating places like IMDb. This show's only
like
a 5
or something on IMDb, and then I don't get that at all.
I mean, I've got my theories, but yeah.
I mean, we can talk about that. Some of why I know some people are just against it, but I don't see any reason why they should be, and we'll go into that. But as my last marshmallow, although the principal voice cast from the original series returns to reprise their respective roles, the show has no continuity from the previous series, and only certain elements are retained, except for the episode The Mask, in which Robin talks about the old team/show. So there are times where the old stuff is brought up, but it's not like it's in the same world where they're talking about like, Tara or any of the old things that happened.
Right. Even though Tara does appear in this show.
Yeah. And there's tons of like cameos and appearances by DC characters and otherwise, like you were saying.
I think she's voiced by Ashley Johnson in this, I believe. I might be wrong, which is great. Ashley Johnson voiced Ellie in The Last of Us, and she's on Critical Role if you're into
nice.
Dungeons and Dragons' podcast. So there you go. And so real quick, I just want to mention, if you're not into this cartoon and don't want the Teen Titans to go, if you don't want them to go, let me tell you somewhere you can go. That's over to nerdsloth.com to check out all of our other shows. Chances are, if you enjoy this podcast, you're going to love others as well, like Night Marathon, which features Joseph, myself, and our friend Dave Parker, who's been working in the film industry as a writer, director, and editor for several years, where we discuss horror movies a lot like we do cartoons on this podcast. There's also Party in Peril. We were just talking about Ashley Johnson's podcast, Critical Role. This is kind of like that, but a lot goofier and weirder. Our show, Party in Peril, is where we play Dungeons and Dragons. The current season is titled Villains. I've crafted a world of villains that head to their dungeons for their basic 9-to-5 job. That's where Joseph, Shaddai, and Rochelle role-play as their villainous characters trying to get rich quick, rise in the ranks, and backstab those in their way. And if you're tired of podcasts, you can always join us over on Twitch, where you can find Joseph and I live streaming games multiple times a week, and often planning community events like Jackbox parties or Among Us nights with the audience. We also have an upcoming 24-hour stream that we'll announce as soon as we nail down the date, and we would love as many of you to pop in and say hello as we can get. So head over to twitch.tv/nerdsloth and hit the follow button now so you know when we're going live.
My gosh, we do so much stuff.
We do a lot of things. My tongue hurts from talking.
So we'd heard of this show before. We knew of it, and we knew it was coming, and we had heard
of it.
And we had heard about the pushback that it got, and still gets, like you were saying, to this day.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and jump into the episodes we watched for today's show. The very first being Legendary Sandwich, Season 1, Episode 1A, where Raven, wanting to watch her favorite cartoon in peace, sends the other Titans on a dangerous mission to get the ingredients for the greatest sandwich ever.
I love just that general plot that Raven sends them on this like super dangerous mission that she doesn't even think this thing is actually real and exists, but she like puts them in like horrible danger just so she can watch Pretty Pegasus.
Yeah.
I love that so much, because I'm like, there are times where like I want my peace and quiet, and I'm like, man, I would love to send people on a perilous journey right now so I can get my thing done.
Yeah, it sounds so dumb, but I promise, like hear us out. It's not. It works so well. Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah. Oh man, I love the like backstory that she gives about she's talking about this legendary sandwich. Well, and it starts out because they're all eating a sandwich and bugging her while she's trying to watch. And they talk about like how much they love the sandwiches that Robin makes and stuff. So she's just like, oh, well, have you heard about this legendary sandwich? And she goes through that whole backstory about like, you know, the king and the sandwich wizard and how they had to separate all the ingredients and stuff and send them like all over the place. And each are guarded by like sandwich guardians and all kinds of stuff. And
yeah,
that they're just so hell bent on assembling those ingredients so that they can try this legendary sandwich.
She gives each of them separate missions to go out and get them, trying to just send them all on basically opposite ends of the world, or even off planet in some cases, just to make them delay them as long as she possibly can so that she can watch her show. Is the ultimate goal, because she kind of materializes not only the story, but like this grimoire that has these images in it. Like she just brings it out of like nowhere, like makes it with her magic. And like we were saying, kind of makes up this story as she's going, and is really surprised to find out what the results are.
Yeah, that it's actually all real.
Yeah. And can I just comment real quick, because it's going to go on throughout the show. The art of the background stuff is what I want to comment on. Like when we go to the sandwich wizard and everything and the king, like all of that sort of art that's in the background, that was done by one of my favorite artists, Dan Hipp. And I didn't realize he worked. He was, he's like the art director for this show. And I didn't realize that until we actually started watching. And I'm like, that art looks really familiar. And so I looked it up and I was like, oh my God, like I love this guy. I already follow him on Instagram and everything. And his art is just so cool. It's got that really like nice, like minimalistic style that I dig. And it works so well with the show.
I had no idea he he was involved in animation at all. I only know him from comics. So
Right.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at his Instagram right now, and it literally says in the description, was art directing Teen Titans Go.
Well, guess what? We're stupid.
Yeah, I never noticed that before.
Dang.
But you can absolutely tell just looking at the background stuff. It's like, yeah, that's totally his art.
Yeah, I love his style a lot. Like, you actually got me into his style by like showing me some of his stuff before, and then I started seeking out some of the stuff that he works on. So
Yeah,
that's
so when
awesome,
they
man.
so when they say that it's flash animation, like don't like dial back your expectations, because that sounds reductive in a way.
Yeah.
But I promise you, like, it's so good. It's so well utilized and it's so clean. And I love like clean line work and stuff. And this just goes on throughout the show. So it was gorgeous to look at for me.
Yeah, I loved it too. I mean, just regardless of what was going on, it always looked good no matter what. And I think that's fantastic. And especially the color too. Like the color is like, oh, I love bright colors. So this was amazing for me. I was a very happy person.
Like one specific instance is where Starfire goes off planet to pick up the tomato, like the slice of tomato for the sandwich. And like that different planet she goes to is just so vibrant. It's like nice and green, and the sky's like orange and stuff. Yeah, just such a great usage of color there. So Cyborg gets sent to this lava, like I guess this volcano thing, to pick up what is was it the
bacon?
Yeah, the mystical bacon in Lava Lake was Cyborg's. The King's lettuce buried deep underground was for Beast Boy. The stellar tomato hidden among the stars was for Starfire. And then the last ingredient, perhaps most perilous of all, was the pretzel bread at the local supermarket. And that was Robin's to pick up.
I think that made me laugh so hard, because the idea that they all go, well, the other three go to these like other worlds and stuff, and they have to battle all these guardians. And then Robin's like super mad about it because all he has to do is go to the grocery store. But he like gets there and he's like having trouble like pushing this cart, and it's like
got one of those like sticky wheels.
Yeah, and it like slips and he's just crashing into everything, and everything's falling over and stuff's falling on him, and like he just trashes the whole store within seconds. And that was so funny to me.
When he goes up to the counter to get the bread, he's like, just please give me some pretzel, like the freshest pretzel bread you have. This place is really bumming me out. And he has to pull one of those little tags, and he's like number 78 out of, and it's like on number 30 or something. So his adventure, I guess, is waiting in the supermarket for his turn. And like this whole time, I love the cuts they're doing like back and forth, where it's showing the others like fighting for their lives and like losing things. Like Cyborg lost an arm, Starfire lost like she got a lot of her hair cut off. Yeah, and then Beast Boy, some of his teeth got smashed. Well, he bit into like one of these sandwich guardians, which are these giant like golems made of, well, I mean, they're stone, but they look like pieces of bread.
Like gold or something. I don't know.
And so they he tries to bite into one of them and loses some teeth, and that kind of persists through the rest of the episode. And so they're all sacrificing things, and then Robin's just in there wasting time, or not wasting time, but just sitting there so bored, and cutting back to him and trying to like show people his moves with his bow staff and stuff. It's just so funny as a contrast to everything else that's going on.
That's what's great, is when they finally get everything and they get back to their tower, and you see the other Titans are all just like beat to hell, like bleeding and bruised and, you know, missing body parts or whatever. And Robin walks in and he's just like, whoo, that supermarket was brutal.
Yeah, I barely made it out alive.
So mad. Yeah. Oh my God. The best thing is like Raven's just so surprised that all that stuff is actually real and exists. But they do like she does like the little spell, assembles this sandwich. But Starfire has this little pet named Silky. It's like this little, I say little, it's a giant silkworm thing.
Yeah.
I say giant, but for a silkworm, it's giant. It's like the size of maybe a chihuahua. And before they could do anything, like they're arguing over who gets the first bite based on like what all happened to them. Like Cyborg's like, I lost an arm, and Beast Boy's like, I lost my teeth. And they're like, how are you going to take a bite if you don't even have teeth? What are you going to gum it? And they're like arguing over it, and then Silky just swallows the whole dang sandwich. And that short little clip of him, like, he gets a little like crown over his head.
Yeah,
he's just like ascending to godliness.
Yeah, because it's a sandwich that's supposed to grant you immortality. So he's in the process of being granted immortality, but then just barfs it up.
Yeah. Then Robin's just like, oh, well, anyone want to watch Pretty Pegasus?
Well, he was like trying to prove to Raven, he's like, see, I told you the sandwich wasn't that good. And then he moves over to the Pretty Princess comment, or Pretty Pegasus comment.
It's like the whole time they could have just watched that, and Raven just didn't bother asking. But she was super excited anyway at the end. She's like, oh.
I think for her, it's like a secret to everybody else that that's her favorite show. So she doesn't want them to know. Yeah.
So good.
But that was a great start. Like even the very first episode is just brilliant, but it only gets better. It only gets better. The next episode we watched, this was the highest rated one, right? Okay.
Oh my God, I understand it. I was so here for this episode, man.
This episode is called 40%, 40%, 20%, or 40-40-20. Season 3, episode 5B, highest rated. And Cyborg's real strength comes not from his robot parts, but from his favorite song. And this, I'm getting chills just thinking about this stupid song because it's so catchy and it's so good.
Yes. Oh man, I want this song. Like, I want it to be, I don't know. I want this song to play for me every time I do anything.
Every time I
just
enter
like
a room.
Cyborg does. Yeah. Oh my God. It's so good.
Okay. Well, this is Cyborg's favorite song. He comes out dancing to it at the very beginning. It's starting to bug everybody else. It's Cyborg's inspiration, but everyone else is just tired of hearing it because it's all he plays multiple times a day. And so they're just commenting on that and how, and he's trying to explain to them how it's the greatest song ever written. A great song can inspire you and encourage you to be transformative, basically. Just a little bit about the song. It was written by this band. This like makeshift band called BER, which is influenced by the sound of the 80s. It was 40% written by Carl Burnett, who's a drummer, 40% written by Franklin Ania, and 20% written by William J. Reagan. That's why it's called 40-40-20, the title. And so this song was literally made, I think, written back in, I can't remember the exact date, but I think it was like back in 2005 or 2004 by Carl Burnett. And then like it was produced by all three of these guys. And so the only reason it was in this show originally, this was like the season before, like Cyborg was in an episode called Slumber Party. Cyborg was listening to just a little bit of this song, and people had started just as a throwaway joke. And then people had started like commenting or asking the producers of the show, like, hey, what song is this? I've never heard this 80s song. And then he's like, oh, well, I mean, it was just a joke, but here's the actual song. And they brought it into the show as this episode first. And then there's an episode next season that's a two-parter that's specifically about this song and the animation style that they use later on for the music video of this.
Oh, man.
Yeah, which is amazing. And so there's so much to this. There's so much trivia to this song that it's kind of like already transcended the show itself. It was made as just like for a music library by these three guys. So it wasn't meant to be used for anything except
just for like whatever project, you know, like
exactly.
Yeah, it can be purchased for whatever use that it needs to be. Like you can get stuff like this on like Motion Array and things, which is where I get a lot of stuff when I'm editing Party in Peril. So right. Yeah, I totally get it. So yeah. Oh my God, though. It's so good.
Yes. So it's made just for that and just kind of already evolved way past that. So, and I'm sorry I focused so much on the song just now, but I got really excited like looking up all the trivia on it. But yeah, it deserves this attention.
Yes. He gets so into it. And I'm trying to remember the context of this argument. Because I wrote a little note and then I forgot the context of my note that I wrote here. but it comes back later in the episode, and I don't want to miss it. But he gets in an argument with one of the Titans, and I don't remember which one, but I just remember Cyborg saying, I want to be Optimus Prime.
Yeah, okay.
But you can be Bumblebee.
I can tell you exactly. So that was Raven.
Help me out there.
Okay, so first of all, it starts with him talking to Starfire, telling her how when he hears a good song, anything is possible, and music can transform you.
That's right.
And then Raven's like, oh, so I like Optimus, so I can be Optimus Prime? And then he's like, no, I'm Optimus Prime, but you can be Bumblebee. Like, that's how that turns out.
Perfect. Okay, that's very important.
It feels like a throwaway joke.
It's not.
But it's not, in a weird way. So they're not into the song or anything, and every morning, like, that's kind of how he wakes up. Like, the other Titans are bored, and then he sort of tries to like transfer them or transform them into fans of the song too, and like he'll come out playing it, and they start like, you know, mouthing the words when they don't even know the song, and kind of like you know, tapping their feet to the beat. And it takes us into this animation style that I don't know how to describe it really. It's like,
this is what I wrote. 80s cyberpunk synthwave animation.
Yeah,
is what I wrote.
I mean, that's a good way to put it.
Or 80s cyberpunk fantasy synthwave animation.
Well, yeah, because it has like steel Pegasus, and it has like a wolf, a random wolf in there, and then an
actual wolf face in the background shows up.
A cyborg bird. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's great.
It's got like a similar color scheme that you see in like 80s art, where it's like the purples, the greens, the oranges or whatever, you know, like it's got that whole like theme to it. And then the animation style of the Titans turns into kind of like an anime-esque look, more anime-ish.
Well, their designs completely change, and it looks so cool.
Oh yeah.
Like some of them have like mohawks, and Starfire's got this like really just gnarly hair where it's just like really rough looking, and they're on motorcycles, and it looks so good, man.
Yeah, it's that cyberpunk art style, and it just works so well, and it didn't feel like something this show would have had, but it did it, and it pulled it off so well. And that's why in the following season, there's a whole 2-part episode that I think is dedicated to that style. Like, I think it's all done in that style, if I'm not mistaken.
God, I can't wait for that. The rest of the team does get upset though, and they're just like, I think you're relying too much on this song, because they've realized Cyborg can't do anything now without pumping himself up. Like, they give him a jar of pickles, which like literally on the lid of the pickles, it's like, here, open this easy to open lid. It's easy. Seriously, super duper easy. Like something like that. And he can't open even this jar of pickles without listening to that song. So they start going out on like calls and stuff to fight crime, but they won't let him join until he can open up that jar of pickles without listening to the song. And he never is able to accomplish it.
One of my favorite parts of the episode is where like he's alone in the Titan Tower, and he finds out that his friends are in trouble, but he's not able to save them because he can't do anything without the song. And then that bird flies like over like outside of the window to the tree, and it's just like cawing the sound of night begins to shine.
Oh my God.
It's so funny. And just to encourage itself or inspire itself to put its nest together, that gives him the idea is like, music is supposed to be a crutch. And he's like, and right now I need me some crutches. And so he starts playing the song and like opens that pickle jar, eats the pickle, and then just starts riding off to go save his friends. And that's where it goes in this awesome, again, that same animation style. But it's so cool watching it as he's like riding down this road towards this like skull tower, almost like Castle Grayskull looking tower that is off in this distant field. And as he's driving through on this motorcycle, like he runs across this wolf that like melds into him and becomes like part of his armor. And then he also... this giant guardian is there with this huge sword that it like strikes down trying to hit him, and he rides up it. Well, first of all, his motorcycle transforms into a metal horse that ends up being like a steel Pegasus. And so he starts riding up that sword, crashes through the giant's head in such an epic way. It just looks so amazing. I love this. Like, even if the whole show had been in this style, I'd been all for it.
I would love to see an entire show in this style, man. I don't care if it's Teen Titans or not. I want a show in this style with that type of music, and I want it to be nothing but this kind of thing. It's so good. When he gets there, he goes to try to rescue the Titans. The bad guy that he's fighting ends up stealing it's a cassette tape that he's playing in his chest, like, Soundwave basically from Transformers. But the bad guy gets the cassette tape out and smashes it. And I'm like, oh no. So the Titans that are captured start singing it a cappella, which is such a great moment. It's so funny, but it's also super good and like heartwarming and just really inspiring. And it's perfect because he freaking turns into Optimus Prime. And he does the line from the movie, "One shall stand and one shall fall." And I'm like, yeah. Afterwards too, he does the whole Titans roll out.
Yep. And then they ride off into the sunset in that same like crazy art style. And that's how the episode closes out.
So good, man.
So good.
Oh man.
It's
gonna be
catchy.
I'm gonna put that on my Spotify for sure. I'm gonna be listening to this like every day, and I want it to be my ringtone.
Dude, yeah, that's how I'm gonna get pumped up to do anything from now on.
And I've got to listen to every remix that they've got.
I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Oh man.
So moving on to the next episode. Last episode we watched for today's show was Classic Titans, season 4, episode 16B. Who was this chosen by?
I chose this one. I just chose a random one. I did not think I could beat that highest rated episode. And this came real close.
Oh man,
this came super close.
To prove his point about classic superhero cartoons, Control Freak sends the Titans to a former version of Teen Titans Go. Okay, so Control Freak is basically the critics of this show, is what I'm feeling.
Yeah, this is why I love this so much, and it was perfect that we ended up getting this, because this episode is 100% just a commentary, like a meta joke commentary about the entire show.
Yep.
And I love it.
It starts out by them watching this show called like Babies versus Dogs.
Babies versus Dogs.
Yeah, and it's so ridiculous.
Which sounds like, really bad, but it's not what you think it is.
No. It seems like it's a dog and baby team fighting all these things. So these burritos are out of control, and so this dog and this baby are like, okay, there's only one way to stop it. We've got to eat them. And they just start eating these burritos. This baby grabs his bottle, shoves one of the burritos in it, and just starts sucking the burrito through the bottle.
I wish I had that problem. Like, I needed to defeat an army of burritos right now, because I think I could do it. I'm hungry.
So while they're watching that show and they're commenting on like how funny it is, how like classic it is or whatever, Control Freak pops up, like takes over the screen. He's just like, it's garbage. Here's what kind of sums up exactly what his character represents. He's like, you're enjoying something that I find atrocious, so I'm here to ruin your enjoyment of it by pointing out its flaws. And I can't stand when people do that. That's such a pain.
It's just, he is literally the epitome of a toxic gatekeeper kind of thing. Like, that is 100% what he's trying to do. And that is 100% the people that have so many issues with this show is just, and I'm not going to say it's everybody. So I'm going to forget I said 100% because that isn't fair. But a lot of people that are like trolling the ones going on the review sites and stuff and just bombing this thing because it isn't like original Teen Titans or whatever. This is what you're like, man. This is what you look like to everyone else.
Right. It's not supposed to be like the original Teen Titans in the same way that Thundercats Roar is not supposed to be like the original Thundercats. So comparing them is very apples to oranges. Not even apples to oranges, it's like apples to burritos. It just does. There's no comparison. Like, why are you even trying? And
doesn't make sense.
That is exactly what he's doing, though, by comparing them to an old superhero cartoons where he's talking about it like comparing the Dogs versus Babies cartoon, but really we all know it's the commentary on like Teen Titans being compared to its former show. And so he's comparing that show to old superhero cartoons that were perfect to him and wants to show the Titans why they were perfect by transporting them into one of the old like 70s superhero cartoons.
Yeah. And I think it's funny that they not only do the classic animation style, they also do the writing. And some of the best parts were like, you hear a lot of golly gees and stuff, as you would, especially from Robin. But one of my favorite parts in this was Starfire has this one moment where she goes, golly gee whiz, golly gee whiz. That made me laugh so hard.
The announcer was great too.
Oh, the announcer thing was
the narrator.
So good.
Yeah, because it's so on point and it sounded so much like those old shows did.
Yeah. And they end up having an argument with the narrator because he's narrating everything. They're just like, why can't you just let us do it? And he's just like, we don't have the budget.
You're also seeing the animation that's like way cheaper because of those small budgets. So it's like they're even commenting on that where it's like, I can only move my head. I can't move my body very much. And so it's again, just like the last episode, has a unique animation style that comes into play for the second half, or not even the second half, like for 75% of the episode. And it's just so funny watching them try to interact in that new style.
Yeah, that was really good. And they do look like the classic Teen Titans look, like that classic look from the comics and everything, where Cyborg is like really white, all like the white armor and stuff. And Starfire's got the super big puffed out hair, all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of cool. I liked that.
The animation that they kept using over and over, especially where Robin would throw his little bird-a-rings.
The bird-a-rings. Dude, that joke was so good.
It got me every time. Because at first he uses it to like throw like when the narrator's introducing the show, he's like, and Robin with his many gadgets. And then like he throws it. He does that little animation, throws a bird-a-ring, and you don't think anything of it really. But then he does it every single time he uses it. That same exact animation, just with a slightly different altered bird-a-ring.
Yeah. And he just says a different one. Like when they end up on that one place and he's got to track the dinosaur, and he's like, I'll just use my dinosaur tracking bird-a-ring. And he throws it and it explodes into a cloud that's shaped like an arrow. And it just says, and then he's like, it's that way.
Right.
But then they get into that one thing where they're fighting the bad guy. And he just has like a billion different types of bird-a-rings. He's like, let me try my fire bird-a-ring. Let me try my ice bird-a-ring. It just keeps going and going and going. And they're like, okay, we get it.
He's like, fire bird-a-ring should down this dino. Ice bird-a-ring should down this dino. Yeah, just over and over again. And
oh god,
the laugh that the villain has, Dr. Otto Von Death,
while
is
he
hilarious.
Waves his arms in the air like Skeletor.
Yeah. It's like yeah. He just has this like super annoying like 70s villain laugh. They just nailed it.
Did you catch the part too that I loved that they did this, because this is a classic mistake that always happened in these shows, where there was a part where they had the wrong voice come out of
where
a different
Robin was
character's
using
mouth.
Cyborg's voice.
Yeah. I was like, dang, that they even nailed the like mistakes that were often made back then.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was so good.
Right. They just covered it so well. It felt like that show, except pointing out all of its flaws as they were going through it. Very self-referential.
So what was the name of that villain again?
Dr. Otto Von Death.
So the best gag with that guy was when they were getting angry about how one-dimensional the villains are in those classic cartoons. So he's like, I'm not one-dimensional. And he starts talking about, his life story about like growing up and meeting his wife and her leaving him and his kid being such a disappointment.
His daughter left and moved with her boyfriend. His son just sits in front of like his computer all day in his room. He doesn't even know what he's doing in there. Then he got turned down for term life insurance due to his high cholesterol.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. That's so
he's like,
funny.
So my desire, all this end of the human race stuff is really a reflection of my desire to put an end to my suffering.
They're like, oh.
Yeah.
But like, it was so good. And in the end, Control Freak's just like, wow, this kind of sucks.
Yeah. He's like, you guys were right. Like, not everything old is good and not everything new is bad.
Yeah, he just kind of like realized that he's kind of remembering just the parts of it that he liked, and he's remembering, he's more remembering how he felt watching those things at the time that he watched it, and that watching those same things now don't carry the same weight as they did back then. So it kind of helped him see the error of his ways, and that, it's time to move on and check out something new, like allow yourself to experience something new.
But I like the way that it resolved with Raven using her like Azarath Metreon Zinthos thing and summoning the dog and the baby to come and like to take out the T-Rex and Dr. Otto von Death.
Yes. Oh, man.
That was good. I'm so glad you chose that one. It was perfect.
Yeah, it was between that and one where they went trick-or-treating.
Which also would have been fun.
I'm so glad we ended up with this one because it summed up so many things that I was thinking about with this show, and the show itself said it. So it was great.
So I guess let's talk about our likes and dislikes. What do you want to start with?
Let's go with the likes, and some of it we've already talked about. I want to reiterate the design of this show. I think the character design is great. The simplicity of it gives so much more to work with as far as expression, which makes pulling off physical gags way easier. And especially in the case of things like Beast Boy, because the way his eyes are drawn, like, it's like those big, white circles and stuff with the thick black outline. Every animal that he turns into automatically looks hilarious and amazing when it has those same huge white eyes. And I love that. It's so unique and so fun. And it makes me happy every time he turns into something, just seeing that carry over. It brings over his personality into that shapeshift automatically without him needing to talk or say anything. Like, you automatically can get a sense of his feelings and emotions right off the bat, just based on the expressions that they can do with those eyes. The other thing that really gets me is those bright colors. For me, the brighter, the more vibrant color in a show like this, the better. And this cartoon pulled it off so well. There isn't a frame where something doesn't stand out in a bold, beautiful way, and it makes everything super interesting.
Commenting on that, I do want to say for Beast Boy specifically, in that last episode we watched, all he could turn into was a donkey. And every time he would transform into a donkey, it would make that braying noise that made me laugh every time.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
And with that said, too, like, the jokes are great. There's so many, and they are so very quick. It feels like a show that you could watch multiple times and catch jokes that you missed in previous viewings so easily. But the jokes that I did catch had me laugh out loud so many times, way more than most shows do.
Yeah, definitely. And it's going to sound like I'm copying you exactly, but what you just said summarizes my likes as well, because like the animation I love, and I've talked about that earlier. The art, it's subjective and we all have our personal preferences, but this is just one of mine, really. And like I said, the artist Dan Hipp was the art director for it, and just the way that they are using it, the sort of animation really lends itself to that slapstick comedy, and there's not really any boundaries on how wacky or weird it can get, which really helps out with this show. And as far as the comedy goes, like it's something about this sort of humor is just right up my alley. And I think it's because like these are basically the sort of dumb ideas or situations that we joke about all the time, like in our chat. So it just makes sense that it would appeal to me. Like what if we make a bird fly in cawing "Night begins to shine" while he fixes up his nest? That's something dumb we would come up with.
Yeah.
Or what if in the end Cyborg actually turns into Optimus Prime to defeat the Brain? It's like this random humor doesn't have any place in like the old Teen Titans or anything, because it didn't belong there. That was a different show. It was a serious show for the most part, and this isn't. So it can have that kind of fun. It has that sort of freedom to play around. And then commenting on Night Begins to Shine, the music of the show is great too, because that's one of those things just going to transcend, that's already transcended the show and will probably live way past the end of the show. In the same way that Sugar Sugar came out of the Archie's cartoon. It's just super catchy, and I'm definitely adding it to my Spotify playlist as well.
Yeah, I agree 100% with your assessment about the this style of humor being totally what you and I are into, because it is this. I mean, all these jokes are just like, it reminds me of it's just like all the kind of stuff that I love. And I think why I thought the show's so funny. And I think anyone listening to this, if you are someone that joins us on our live streams on Twitch when Joseph and I are playing video games and stuff on Mondays or Saturdays, you'll probably be like, yeah, this is totally these guys. Like a lot of these jokes totally sound like some of the stupid stuff that they say all the time.
Right.
So yeah. As far as dislikes, the only nitpick I have is that Beast Boy can feel a little bit grating after a while, but that's just me like trying to dig deep. And I had that same problem with the original Teen Titans also. It's just his personality. There's always one character, I think, in everything where it's just like, well, after so long, maybe that character will rub you the wrong way, or just, not so much that, just maybe it'll get old after a while. But he's handled, to me, I enjoy him in this more than I enjoyed him in the original Teen Titans. I'm not kidding. Because at least in this one, like, he's so goofy and ridiculous on purpose, where sometimes I struggle in a little bit more serious cartoons with characters that can't be serious when the time calls for it. And there were plenty of times in Teen Titans where he was in serious situations and he did, figure things out and do it. But there is a lot of times he didn't also. And, that's just the writing and stuff like that. And those are just points of contention and drama and stuff like that are supposed to be there. But, to me, I'm like, but, that, like I said, that's me reaching real deep. And I feel like if there are episodes in this that are the full, 20 to 23 minutes, I could see that maybe being tough to get through on a weekly basis or binge watching or something. But everything we saw were just like the 10 to 11 minute episodes, which I feel is perfect. It's just a perfect little short stay. So without like trying really hard, I don't have anything negative to say about it.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat where if anything, if I had to nitpick, then I would say all the characters are fairly incompetent throughout every single Titan. And maybe they should have had at least one be a foil to that, be like actually, serious or, I don't know, fed up with how nonsensical everyone's being. And I feel like Raven gets that way sometimes. Like maybe that's her role a little bit, but even she kind of is over the top in other ways. So it's like,
yeah,
maybe if anything, maybe they need maybe someone there for balance. But honestly, I don't even know if that's true, because part of the joke is when they're off duty, they're all just like complete like screw ups in different ways. And it's just funny watching their antics. Like it's really hard to nitpick a show that already doesn't take itself seriously at all. So it's not like the original show because it's not supposed to be. It's a quick hit of random humor that'll either hit or miss. And that depends on who's watching. But for me, it was a total hit. So I, just like you, can't really say anything negative about it.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, looks like it's about time we send our inner kids to Titan Tower to hang out, try one of Robin's sandwiches, and check out an episode or two of Pretty Pretty Pegasus, and then see what they thought of their time with Teen Titans Go.
This cartoon is so bright and shiny with funny heroes that don't really fight crime as much as they hang out all day and make hilarious jokes, which is exactly the kind of hero I want to be. Now I just need a sweet 80s inspired theme song to power me up. The night begins to shine.
Oh man, this cartoon was so funny! From the animation, to the jokes, to the soundtrack, this show had it all. But I wonder if this is what it's like for other superhero teams when they're not fighting crime. Like, would the Avengers seek out pieces of a legendary sandwich? Would the X-Men kick butt to a killer 80s inspired song? Would the Justice League have their own 70s cartoon with cheap animation and one-dimensional villains? Oh wait.
All right, I want to make an official decree, which is that Teen Titans Go is a great show. And those that hate on it are either trolling or just really honestly struggling to move past the idea that it's not Teen Titans. Yes, it's the same actors, but this is 100% a different show with different versions of the characters. Whereas the first show was absolutely a teen drama, this is a comedy, pure and simple. And I totally understand if you don't want a comedy. Of course, you're not going to like it if you don't want a comedy. But if you can find a way to be objective about it, look at it from a perspective completely divorced from what came before it. I think you can really find something to appreciate, because I absolutely loved it. I want to watch more of it. I would absolutely watch this entire series without hesitation. So I'm going to give Teen Titans Go 5 bowls of Sandwich Wizard cereal out of 5, like it deserves.
Perfect. Yeah, you said it really well in that it is a great show. And I do think a lot of the hate it gets is because people are holding it up to its predecessor, which is not a fair comparison because they're not trying to be the same thing at all.
Yeah.
And nor should they be compared as such. I get that this isn't everybody's type of humor. It's ours, for sure. That's why it resonates so well with us, but it's not everybody's, and that's fair. And if that's why you don't like it, fine. But you shouldn't go in and rate a show that's not the type of humor that you like anyway, because then you're kind of setting it up for failure, or setting yourself up for failure if you're going in watching something that you're not even a fan of. I don't know how to say it any better than that, but it's like, if you don't like this kind of like weird random humor, just don't watch shows like that. Like, that's that easy.
Yeah, exactly.
But overall, I'd give Teen Titans Go 5 big bowls of Steel Pegasus Motorcycle Munchie cereal out of 5, and will say that it's definitely not for everybody, but it absolutely hit the spot for me.
Yeah, man, I have to watch this entire series now. I'm so excited to start watching it. It kind of fell off my radar for the longest time, even though we watched the movie and really enjoyed the movie a lot. But now I'm just like, oh my God, where have you been, Teen Titans Go?
I even remember us saying after we watched the movie, it's like, we didn't get why anybody hated like the show at that point, because we're like, is the show just completely different? Because this movie was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's not. It's the same. It's the same style. It's the same kind of type of comedy. They're just one for one. So we should have given it a chance back then. We waited, but it's still going on. So we just need to catch up now. Just 317 episodes. That's all.
Right. So if you are one of the hundreds that voted Teen Titans Go all the way to the bottom of the list, then I want to challenge you guys. If you haven't watched it and still voted it all the way down, give it a watch and just see. If you've watched it before and you didn't like it, I would challenge you to watch it again and just try to divorce the idea of this being the Teen Titans that you're used to. Look at this as a brand new IP. This is Teen Titans Go. It is not Teen Titans. It's 100% different show. It just has characters that are very, very similar to Teen Titans. So I think if you look at it with that light, I think you'll give yourself, or at least open yourself up to more of a chance of enjoying a new show. And I want you guys to be able to enjoy more things. So, if you do it and you don't like it still, man, that's totally fine. Like Joseph said, it's not for everybody. But I think we got to give it a fair shot. And I absolutely love it. And I hope that some people will start giving it a fair chance and start loving it too.
I'm going to be honest with you. I watched each of these episodes 3 times.
Holy crap.
Yeah, well, because the first day I watched them, I was super tired. So I'm like, okay, I need to watch it and take notes and whatever. And I watched it again. And then like today, while I was doing my work also, I watched it again because I was like, just to refresh myself. And they hit the spot every single time. They were always funny. It never became too repetitive. And I think a part of it was because, like you were saying, it's short and sweet. They're just 10 minutes each, and it's just a quick hit, and you're just like left smiling most of the time. Like all the jokes worked every time for me.
That's awesome. Yeah. I can't wait to watch more of it and show others this. Like I really want to get Rochelle to watch it because she watched the movie with me and we laughed so many times. Like it was one of the hardest we've ever laughed at an animated film. So I can't wait to do more of it.
Yeah, it's so good. So thank you, Cole and JassFrass, for suggesting this to us. Oh, so good.
Yes.
I assume you're both fans, and you're right to be.
Yeah, if you are, man, I want to applaud all of you. Thank you so much for getting this to us. And you know what? Just for I'm going to troll you guys. Thank you, everyone who voted this to the bottom of the list. Because if it hung out in the middle, we might not have gotten to it super soon. So thank you for voting it all the way down.
Yeah, thanks for not liking it.
You actually did us a service there. So there you go.
Did us a solid. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, listeners, looks like our milk supply is now run dry, so it's time for us to say goodbye. And in 2 weeks, we'll be watching
Infinity Train, suggested via YouTube by Epic Otter.
Finally. They talk about that so much on our Twitch chat
and Discord. Yeah.
And Discord.
They're always, Epic is in our Discord and joins us on Twitch quite often. He's always talking about Infinity Train. Everyone in the Discord always gets in on that conversation and is talking about Infinity Train.
And
I know zero about it. And I know
neither.
that there's been a lot of controversy about it lately.
Oh.
Just in how the end of the show is being handled or something. So I'm interested to learn more about what's going on there and learn what I know a lot of people love this show, so I want to know what the love is. This was a top of the list show, so I'm ready to dive in as the night begins to shine. The night begins to shine.
The night begins to shine. Once again, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
We'll see you in 2 Saturdays.
Presented by NerdSloth,
a place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, visit us at nerdsloth.com.